Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Transformers issue 14 Image Comic Review. Now as you know, we're now up to issue 14 of the Transformers Image Comic series. And this one, pretty much deals with Starscream pretty much coming back. We kind of see how Starscream will gather up what little resources he has now. And the cover mainly has Astro Crane pretty much caged with basically chains and all that. So let's get on the story. It starts off with, Horton and his men basically getting Starscream ready. And we see how Horton is amazed by their success, saying, "Stop your complaining, Clayton." And we see how, Starscream is now tied to a sort of Mars-like kind of transport and is now fused together with it. And we do kind of see him saying, "You install the Higgs tank failsafe?" Yes, sir. As directed, high explosives, major damage, just in case. Good. And we even see how Starscream finds out to his fury that they've basically converted him and his body. And we see how, one of the men, known as Martin, points out that his legs were gone and they had to save him from the lava. And we see Starscream saying, "That is all wrong! My proportions are completely off-drawn! Draw me again, and do it right this time!" And we do kind of see how, they try to kind of keep Starscream restrained. And we do kind of see how Starscream sees Raz's cat. But we see how, she tries to kind of save it. But we see how, Horton and Starscream work out a deal to work together. And since this is Starscream, we know something is not going to go well with this. And we see how, back on Cybertron years ago, Megatron and Starscream are taking out other Autobots. And we see Megatron saying, "I must give you Autobots credit. You are valiant warriors. Ones that I can use in the war." And we do kind of see how he offers them membership to the Decepticons, but they refuse. And we do kind of see how, Megatron gives Starscream command to kill off the other Autobots who are prisoners of war. We see how Starscream is against it, but we see how Megatron pretty much uses some sort of device to get into his mind and points out that he does what he is told and what he is commanded to. And we see Starscream saying, "Continue, Starscream, for the Decepticon cause. I'm sorry." "Do not apologize for what is necessary. From now on." And we see how, over time, Starscream ends up getting worse and worse. And due to Megatron's influence, Starscream is no longer the same guy he once was. And we see how, Starscream manages to find Astro Crane after being tied up by Beachcomber and Spike. But we see how he finds out that Soundwave has been busy while he was basically defeated. And of course, we kind of see how Starscream manages to talk with Astro Crane to join his side. But we see how, after the last issue, a large chunk of Cybertron has fallen. And a lot has happened with Shockwave, Soundwave, and the others. But we see how, Astro Crane transforms. We see how Horton still has control of Starscream, but offers them safe passage from the tsunami, and they manage to make a break for it. So of course, Starscream manages to find Bro and Onslaught and manages to rescue them, getting more soldiers for his own forces. And we see how Horton is furious, saying, "What is this? Who are these guys?" "We're out of it yet. Everybody hang on." "General, has the legend of the Combaticons never reached the hills of the Earths?" And we see that, Horton is not going to put up with this, with Starscream playing kind of freelance. And we see how after a mishap, Horton and his men end up unconscious. And of course, Starscream manages to kind of gather the other Combaticons, like, yeah, Blastoff, Vortex, and Swindle, gaining himself more followers. And of course, yeah, due to Combaticons now finding out about Soundwave, they decided to join Starscream. And of course, they now know what really happened between Starscream and Shockwave, and they want retribution for being double-crossed. And we see how Horton plans to press the charges, but of course, nothing happens. And this is Raz, of course, being an idiot, not knowing to trust a giant robot. But of course, because of her foolishness, she ends up getting killed. Clayton ends up getting blasted. And we see how Horton asks for mercy, but ends up getting killed, and leaving Martin as the sole survivor to sketch Starscream's gloriness. And we see how Starscream and his forces plan to take on Soundwave, and of course, plan to take over once again as the new leader for the Decepticons. And this is the story. So I think, yeah, in my opinion, issue 14 is definitely enjoyable, because obviously, yeah, the writers aren't going to kill off Starscream, and we see how in the early issues, Starscream was shown to be a terrible, incompetent, and of course, not a strategical leader, as he was willing to use Skywarp for Charatran 1 without using Soundwave, quick to use brute force with the Combaticons. It really shows you that Starscream will never think through strategy, just firing and using what resources he has. So I think this one definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still readable. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.